Hi everyone, this is Kushash Ravishmali. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Sorry, first of all, very sorry for low mic quality. My voice is still the same, as you might notice, but mic is different today. I'm recording with my MacBook, and the reason is I'm not in the same city as my setup, which is really sad thing for me, but it's exciting as well because yeah, I'll come up with the news later on, but yep, that is the case, and that's why there's different mic today. Inbuilt MacBook. It's not that bad, but it's okay. All right. And it's gonna be there for 1.5 months, so I can't bring inconsistency to my YouTube channel again. For all those people who have been following me, I think they deserve some consistency, and I'm trying my level best. I am not a pro YouTuber yet, but hopefully I can deliver to the promises that I made. All right. Today is very interesting. I wanted to do more of coding rather than AI and all because I'm away from my GPU as well, so I can't really test things on my MacBook right now. All right. I can, but I just don't want to. All right. So this is an app that I've also built. I've talked about it on YouTube as well recently. It uses iced RS library. If you're curious, it's totally built in Rust. Everything is built in Rust in it. There's nothing that kind of uses HTML, CSS, JavaScript, anything else. There's nothing. Okay. Now this app recently was not working fine on our new iced versions and all. So there was a user who kind of created an issue and said that like let's fix it, and we ended up doing it, but we are not there yet, I would say. So we have to work on it. Okay. Now overall this looks really fine. It works so far. But the thing is, when I started working on this, it was very initial phase. Even iced was also developing. It's still developing, I know, but I can say that it's pretty much stable compared to what it was 1 year back, right? And I want to make sure that whatever design practices they follow and they suggest is what we also follow and kind of take inspiration from. So I just want to work on this code first of all, okay, and let's see how this goes. Okay, I want to follow good practices. I want to make it maintainable as well. Right now, the code is really bad. Okay, and I totally agree on that. So the thing is, Iced RS, I think the YouTube channel just launched this thing, um, which was, not launched, but they created a video on how to build a text editor using Iced. It was 3 months back or something. I'll put the link in the description down below. Please feel free to look at it. I think the maintainer did a really good job talking about how you could, maintain your apps. Do the best practices and all, whatever that is, right? So I just took some inspiration. I'm going to continue doing it for you all. Okay. Now, over here, the main problem that I understood, okay, is very simple, that there are many structs, okay, and there are different message types as well, and that's kind of hurting me. I will talk about this here, but there's this message type, right, and then there's image step message, right? So there are these message types over here, which is kind of, I would honestly just prefer one message type and kind of just reusing that. But I also want to talk about why did we use two message types here, right? Why, by message types, to message enums, right? And what's really the usage of it. And it's totally a raw video. I've not prepared it to complete this in 5 minutes, so hold on and let's just walk through it together. But let's talk about the app first, right? What does it do? There's a really good video on it, so please feel free to look at it. But over here, all you have to do is click on select folder, right? It will give you an option to select folder. I don't know why this didn't work. Let me just click on select folder again, right? I think it does work. It's just that, yeah, over here it is there, right? So if I click on um, over here sample folder, you will see all these images coming up here, right? I can just click on open, and what it will do is it will select the folder, so down it's grayed out. You can click on next, right, and you will see the image coming up. You can zoom in, you can do this pan and all, you can pin zoom as well if you want. Mark is correct is there, mark is incorrect is there. Now this is not working, okay? This is one bug that is there. I cannot click on type on it, which is bad. I should be able to do it, right? Then you have next image. You can see that you can zoom in, right? And it's pretty useful for those people who do a lot of computer vision and want to annotate some things. Iced provides it. It's not me who has implemented this pin zoom, and also I don't want to take credits for it, but I'm using it, so I can take 10% of credits, I guess. But yeah, theming is also there. Custom theme is was something I was just trying it out. Whether it works, it doesn't make any sense. Light and dark is what you should ideally be hoping for. Looking for as well. And then you can click on back and select a new folder as well, right? So that's totally possible, right? I can click on SRC and I can say, okay, go for SRC. And then there is no image, invalid file. Please check if it's a valid image file, right? It's going to do that for you. Sounds good. Okay, so I'm gonna exit now. If you notice that there's no particular button to exit, right, and which is really bad. Um, so that's one thing I want to fix. And when you click on export, by the way, it will show done over here, right? And let me just show you. I think it comes over here. I'm not sure. Looks like it. No, I don't think it comes over here. I have to check. I think there you go. It's this one, if I'm not wrong. Third match, yeah, there you go, right? So it comes in the home folder, output.json file, and it kind of says whatever annotations you have done, right? And when you click on export, it's gonna like just export it to a JSON file. Next time when you make any change, it's gonna override properly as well. It's not like things will not be adjusted and you will lose things if you kind of end up doing this again. All right, sounds good. Sounds good so far. I mean, it sounds good to me. I hope it sounds good to you as well. All right, let's kind of start from main, right? What we are trying to do, we are launching the app, right? Whenever you call this app like binary, it's gonna run this app, right? Folder visualizer is what we've called it. I'm gonna definitely rename this somewhere down the line to something else. Let's call it maybe, I love to call it image visualizer, but let's say image annotator, right? Because that's a really better name for it. I don't want to uh, name it folder visualizer, whatever, right? So this is there, right? Now what I want to do is I want to go to image visualizer and then go to image annotator, right? Let's just look at it over here, okay? And this is what we have. Then it has steps. Steps in theme is ice theme. Okay, we'll come back to it. But this image annotator is a struct, right? And this is the steps enum that it has all the data that you're going to use. Okay. Now again, steps is not the right word for it. Maybe that's when I was starting off, they had this keyword in the examples, and I kind of just reuse that. So that's okay. But let's go to impl sandbox for image annotator, right? This is where we actually start. And if I'm not wrong, then there are two, basically application and sandbox, right? If you just want to get started, I want to look at what's the difference between application. So this is a simpler interface than application. I remember the maintainer talked about that application has better support for async stuff and all. Yeah, there you go, right? A sandbox cannot run any asynchronous actions or be initialized with some external flags. So I'm just keeping it simple for now. We don't need right now asynchronous operations, but I think it will be ideal for us to use application in the future, because this loading images is definitely one thing that you would prefer for asynchronous operations, right? So what do we have, right? Each sandbox or application, whenever you implement it, right, you always have a message. What it means, right? But this message means that whenever an event happens, what kind of event that is happening, right? You can always define some actions and what should happen after that, right? So when you click on back, this backpressed image, like sorry, backpressed message is executed, or I don't know what's the right term for it, but I guess like this is the message that you get, right? And then you can implement what happens after you've clicked back pressed, right? And then you can just reuse that. So new is let's not look at new. It's just initializing another image annotator with whatever defaults we have. We could have just used in default and implemented that as well, which is fine. Let's just add a comment to do, or let's not do to do here. Fix me implement default instead, right? Okay, let's just do that. And title is so steps or title. Okay, we'll look at it again. Now their view, and I think this update as well, that are very important, right? Now update, as I said, what happens whenever this some event has happened, right? You look at the message and say that, okay, this event has happened, let's go and do this. This event has happened, let's go and do that, right? So that's what you're looking for. Message is self message type, right? And what we're looking for is, okay, if message, there's a theme changed message, right? What you want to do is you want to change the theme, like whatever method, not method, but member variable you have, right? You just change that theme based on the theme input that you have. And if it's theme type dark, you kind of initialize, like, I mean, put theme as ice theme dark and all, right? Custom is something, let's just get rid of it right now. Okay, let's not do it. Let's move forward. Back pressed again, then we have a go back function over here. If cell dot has previous current minus equal to 1, right? What does it do, right? Very simply, you want to first of all only go back when there's an option to go back. Well, like when there's a margin, right? You can't go from 0th image to -1 image. That's just not possible, right? So I'm just saying, if it has previous, that means if current is greater than 0, current is the index of the image that you have opened right now, right? And if this, so let me just show you, right? When you just run the app, okay, this is kind of irritating. Sorry guys, But yeah, over here, if you open it, right, and if I click on next, now there's no previous image option, but when you go to next image, there's a previous image option. I can scroll down and you can see there's a previous image option. When I click on this, then there's nothing like previous image because there's no option for you to go back, right? And there's something that you would like to have in your own app, right? So that's why this is important, right? So cell dot has previous, what does it do? If it's true, then you do current minus equal to 1 because now you basically want to go back, right? Similarly with next pressed, simple, right? Advanced, just I can quickly show you what it is. Self dot can continue current, right? Hope is clear so far, right? Now this image step message, I kind of created this another enum, right? Inside this message, ideally let's not do that. I would have preferred if we stick to one enum only, but there you go, right? We have another enum, image step message. What it means is, see, when you do back image, next image and all, that's different to what I wanted to have in image step message. Wait, let me quickly go back to image step message. Right, what else do you have? Right, you have your previous, next, mark is correct, mark is incorrect. So these things is like what I wanted to handle, but I believe that we can just do it in the single enum to also keep it simple. So yeah, let's kind of start doing it, but let's go through this code again, right? Message, image step message, you pass the step message, whatever that is passed, right? And then you do self or steps dot update, right? The steps is basically inside this struct we store another struct that contains the data we want to update, right? And simple, right? Let new theme equal to, I'll talk about it later, but all it does is says or steps dot update. It's actually typical, like it's not very easy to read, but we'll go through it again. So you pass the message type, whatever that you have passed, right? And let's just go down, don't look at this all for now. This is fine, I believe so. Or maybe let's look at this update, right? Yeah, over here, right? So for each step you have this update, and all it does is, there you go, right? So we have implemented what happens for each message type. When there is next, you do current index plus equal to 1, incorrect button clicked equal to false. This is one thing I also want to kind of highlight later on, but we'll talk about it. Then this mark is correct, then this mark is incorrect, because if you would imagine, like if you would remember, whenever you click on any next image, there's an option to mark it as correct or incorrect. It's more like an annotation thing. Reset selection is of course you would like as well. Export, as I said, you want to write it JSON. Comment added, comment type, choose folder path, all these things are there, right? So of course it's very complicated, and that's why I kind of decided to have another enum, but now I'm thinking to kind of optimize on that. Okay, all right, but again, let's kind of stick to, we like explaining what the structure is and then go back to optimizing it. But let's walk down right over here. So for the current step, right, wherever you are at right now, I think this will make sense if I would have renamed steps to images, or I think, yeah, images would have made sense, right? So for the current image, you want to update everything. What's the new index? Maybe the message type is that, okay, please go to the next image, right? In that case, new index will change, right? Similarly with annotation, corrected items, new comment, new step subject. In case the type of image step message over here, it's comment added, then of course you're gonna have a new comment, right? So these things is what I'm fetching over here. Then this all we are doing over here, if you kind of look at this, is mostly to store this JSON object, and whenever we do write JSON, whenever we click on export, we want to update this JSON object. This is what we are doing: get mute, right? Unwrap, get mute, unwrap, and dot annotation equal to new annotation, right? Basically we are updating the JSON object. And yes, I know it's not the best way to look at it, right? I mean, you should, in general, unwrap is not very safe if you're doing it in your code, because it just panics and kind of breaks the app. I mean, just the flow, right? So yeah, having more checks and kind of logging things would be ideal. That's a downside, and happy to kind of consider this in the next video, and if anyone wants to contribute as well, right? And then you have, again, as I said, you can also update the message. Then you can have new message equal to message valid if the new comment is something that is not empty or something. If it's not, then it's an empty comment, right? And that's it. At the end of the day, I want to return the new theme. I am not sure why I'm doing it right now, I don't remember as well, but looks like I'm using this to update the struct before this, right? Because we have two structs again, remember, right? You have steps as a struct over here, and then there's image annotator. If you see on the left split, I'm highlighting this, right? Maybe that's why I'm using, because both have theme over here, and this is very interesting because I would like to just have it one theme for all, right? So that's again one optimization we need to make. All right, so this is what we are doing. We are also taking a look at like if it's modified, right? If it's not modified, you don't want to look at, right? Look at this. So if there's any change to new steps object, then you want to say that, okay, I have got the new current index, correct items. I just apply everything, right? So new steps object dot current index is equal to now the current index, right? So you update everything over here, right? If they have not been modified, then you kind of update with whatever changes that have been done, right? New comment, new annotation, and I believe this is what we're passing over here as well. I mean, this is what we get over here, new annotation, new comment, okay? All right, so this is what we're doing, right? And view, as I said, every time when you, like, it's basically display rendering, right? Whenever you open something, it's gonna show what, I mean, what needs to be done, right? So over here, if you do match self, welcome with folder choose. So if the current enum type is images, that means you are at the images display. You want to call this images, right? If you go back here, we are passing the theme, and this is where we create buttons and all, right? If you want to create incorrect button, reset button, and at the end of the day, let's don't worry too much about it, but overall what we are doing is we are creating this info row and all. So it's again just creating the display part, right? What kind of row do we want, what kind of container do we want? This is how we are doing it, right? Row, horizontal space, length fill, export button, new button valid, and all these things are there, right? So this is where we actually, prepare the display for you, and that's how it is happening, right? Okay, so just be aware. And then we have container, as you see, choose theme content, all these things are there. I don't want to go line to line and explain you these things, but there's definitely some area of improvement, because I think I was using too much of a row and column at that point of time, and things have changed since then. All right, let's go back. Right, similarly with welcome with folder choose, this is what you have as a welcome view. Over here, this is what you have, right? You, because in the welcome as well, as you saw that we had a choose theme option, then also you have if folder found, if there's a folder that you found. I think this is more like a static variable, if I remember. Where is folder found? Yeah, pub static, right? That's why I was using unsafe. I'm curious if this has been solved, but it's okay, right? That's what I was doing, is a main a welcome image. Let me just kind of show it to you again. um there you go, right? So you have a choose theme option over here, then there's select folder, and there's next button, which is not clickable right now. Once you select the folder which is valid, you can click on it, right? So this is like small details, right? You would always want to want to disallow people from clicking on next button unless they have selected a folder, right? So these things are there. All right. I think that's mostly it, right? Again, there's a lot of improvement to be done, and let's discuss this in the next video. I'm sorry, I thought I'll discuss in this video, but I think it's already enough where we have discussed about what this code does. But yeah, happy to kind of start looking at how we are fetching the image and all. This video was mostly about how can we fix, just kind of walk through of the iced use in this application, and kind of discuss what are the downsides and all, and kind of show you the code as well, walk through it one by one. So it's probably just a part 1 of it, and part 2 will come up soon. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. You were watching me on my YouTube channel, I guess. This is Kushash Roy Shimali. Thank you so much for watching me. If you like the content, please make sure to like and subscribe, but there's no force at all. Enjoy, and enjoy learning, have fun learning, and please be kind in the comments down below. If you have any suggestions, I'm open to them, but as long as you're kind, I will not have any problems. Yeah, cool. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Bye.